Okay, here we go with my look at the G.I. Joe Pursuit of Cobra low-light figure. Let's get started here by talking about the character bio on the back of the packaging. Just kind of read this off here real quickly. It says here, low-light, name Cooper G. McBride, serial number is blah blah blah, grade E6 Staff Sergeant, and his mission equipment here is the encoder rifle with ENV enhanced night vision scope and silencer. Low Light is the G.I. Joe team's night operations expert, specializing in imaging intensification techniques and reduced light combat tactics. As a child, he was afraid of the dark until he got lost in the woods and was found 3 weeks later with a flashlight and a compass, skillfully finding his way home. In the dark Cobra warehouse, he positions himself to take Destro and the shock troopers by surprise. So that's his little bio there, and a little kind of a rundown on his equipment and weapons. So let's get that out of the way and get started talking about the actual toy here. Now, I'll have to say, this is probably my favorite of the Pursuit of Cobra figures so far. If not in the whole line, at least as far as the Joe team characters go, I think this guy's probably the best one. And I think this is one of those guys that they kind of really got right, in my opinion. I've brought this up before in some of my other G.I. Joe Pursuit of Cobra reviews. With this line, you're getting characters that come with a lot of weapons and accessories. And oftentimes I find that they give them a little too much, in the sense that they have all these weapons, but they don't really have a way to store them on the character, or have a practical way of putting them in the backpack or anything like that. So it's kind of like you get all these weapons, but then it's kind of like, yeah, you can kind of lose them, or I don't know. It just seems kind of ridiculous to give them a lot of stuff if you can't actually put it on the figure and kind of have it all sort of there. It kind of irritates me in a way. But this guy here, I think they actually kind of fix that problem. And also too, a lot of the weapons that they were kind of giving them, or some of the little gadgets and things, kind of were a little far out there as far as the realism goes. With this line, I'm assuming what they're trying to do is kind of have a modern update of the classic G.I. Joe characters, and kind of keep them realistic with regards to some of the weapons and accessories that they come with. And with this guy, I think they actually kind of struck that good balance in the fact that most of his weapons seem realistic or practical. They don't seem kind of far out there or just ridiculous. So I think, they hit two good marks. They gave him a lot of weapons, but you're able to actually store them. And you're also, something that looks realistic or practical. It doesn't seem real ridiculous. But anyways, enough about that. Let's kind of just zoom in here a little bit more and talk about the detail on this guy. Pretty good looking figure, I think. All the detail and sculpting on it looks really nice. They captured all the little sort of, trademarks or characteristics of Low Light from the previous versions of him. He's got the red tinted goggles, the little black beanie. He's got the little blonde curly hair sticking out the back there, the little red shoulder pad. And, he's got the gray kind of color scheme going with regards to his uniform or suit. But it looks pretty good. I think they did a good job with it. And let's just kind of pan on down here and just look at the rest of him. So, pretty cool looking figure. I really like him a lot. And usually I'm not too fond of the actual Joe team characters, but this guy here is one of the better ones. I'm more of a Cobra guy myself, but I think they did a really good job with this figure. If they had more characters like this, or more figures done as good as this guy did with the Joe team, I'd probably buy a lot more of them. And there he is, just kind of looking at him from the backside. So, pretty cool looking figure. Let's kind of move on here now and talk about the accessories, because this guy's really all about the accessories. And the first accessory he's really got here is just, something real basic. His little goggles here, the little red tinted goggles, they can come off here off his little beanie. So there they are there. Pretty simple, pretty basic. But I do believe you could actually fit these down and make him actually wear them there. Like so. I don't have them quite all the way down. Let's just push it down. There you go. So, there you go. You can make him wear his little goggles. That's pretty cool. Or you can just have him chilling there on the top of his head. And they do sit on there pretty securely. They don't come off or anything when you tilt them or turn them upside down, so that's a good thing. His other accessory here would be his little submachine gun here. Looks like a little Uzi of some kind. And there that is there, kind of up close. So pretty cool looking little weapon. And let's go down here. And he has a little knife there, as you can see, and it's removable. It's in this little sheath. And you just take it out like so. And there it is. The cool thing about it is, the thing that I like about it is that it's painted black with just the edge left in the metallic silver. So I think that looks kind of cool. It fits in with his night specialization theme. You know, there's not going to be a lot of shiny or reflective stuff on this guy. So I think that's kind of cool. So let's just pop this back into its little sheath. And obviously his other accessory here is his little, oops, he came off his stand. Oh well, we'll just leave him on to the side there. Is his little gun case here for his sniper rifle. So there it is there. You can see there it does have a little hole here for a peg to go into, and it does have a peg there. I'm not sure. I think you can actually take this and peg it in first and then have the backpack attached to it if you want. I think it looks a little silly like that though, and it doesn't fit too well in the figure. But it can go in like that, and I think you can stick this in there, although this doesn't really sit in there because the hole all that well, because the hole for it is not that you know, it's not that deep, and this post is rather too long, so you get a big gap in there like that. It just looks kind of silly like that, so I just kind of leave it off to the side and let him carry it. The other option would be to maybe have it attached here on the side, because his other accessory that he has is his little walkie-talkie or CB or radio unit here, and that can remove off of here, and it just went flying out of my hands. But there's a little hole there, and it has a post, as you can see, and it can peg in there. So if you want, you could probably take that off and maybe stick this in here on the side. But again, the post is kind of too long. It just kind of hangs off there and doesn't look right. So I'm assuming it doesn't really go in there, or it's not really designed to fit in there. But let's set that to the side. We'll come back to that. But here's this little radio unit. Has a little antenna on it. It's got the little controls and buttons painted on there silver. This little antenna is removable. It can pop out of here, and this is one of those things that you could easily lose. This guy has a lot of accessories, and a lot of them are rather small, so be careful with this guy if you do get him, because you can lose them. But because of the way that you can store most of these things, you shouldn't really have too much of a problem losing this stuff. And the little actual walkie-talkie part is removable also, and it just pegs in here. So again, this is another one of those things you could probably lose real easily if you're not too careful with it. So just keep that in mind. So let's set that to the side, and let's talk about his backpack. And this is what I really like about this guy. They gave him a lot of accessories and little gadgets, but most of them store inside his backpack, so that's a good thing. And his backpack here, pretty plain, it's just black with some little silver painted buckles, again kind of keeping with his night operations theme. You can open it up like so, and you can kind of open it up to reveal all those little gadgets and accessories there. And then this top part here also kind of opens up like that. And I got the bipod here for a sniper rifle just kind of resting in there. And let's just go out just a little bit, and I'm just going to dump everything out. So you can see you can store about 6 things in there, it looks like, or 5 things at least, including this. So yeah, about 6 items. So first of all, he's got his little spotter scope here, which is cool. And it's got the tripod for it right there. And that just attaches like so. And now you have his little spotter scope there, complete with the tripod. And just set that there. And the next thing he comes with is a little box of bullets. Now this guy you have to be careful with, and if you notice, I am missing the other bullet, because it does have one bullet that's removable, and it's right here, if you can kind of see that on the camera. So you almost need some tweezers to get this guy in and out, but there's a little hole in here, and this just pegs into that hole, like so. So again, this is definitely one of those things that you could easily lose if you're not too careful. You may just want to have this taken out and stored somewhere in like a little Ziploc baggie or something like that. But that will store in there along with all the other things. And the next thing he's got here is, I'm not sure what this is, maybe a GPS unit or some kind of communication device of some kind, but he's got that there. and that should be able to fit into his little hand. And the next part is his little silencer or suppressor for his rifle. And like we mentioned earlier, the little bipod for his rifle. And there's his backpack there with everything removed. So it just folds up like this. And this goes in there like that. And there you go. There's his backpack with everything out of it now. And let's come back to this guy, which is his little carrying case for his gun or his rifle. And this just opens up here. This guy's a little tricky to get open. These little tabs here, I don't want to break them. Let's see here if I can get that open. There we go. I think I got it now. I don't want to have it open, kind of have all the little pieces go flying across the room here. There it goes. Okay, so now you can open it up like so. And if you notice, it's molded inside there to fit the outline of the rifle, and it does have the rifle in there with the scope. One thing about the scope, you can store it either in here like that, just goes in there, or if you notice on the character himself, he does have a little spot here where you can peg in the scope here and have it stored on his hip there. So you can do it either way. You could put it, I think, either facing that way or turn around so it's facing the other way. Which is kind of cool, although I think it would make more sense to keep it in here in the carrying case. But yeah, so that's an option for you there. And let's take out his actual rifle here and just kind of close that back up. So there it is there. Now it does have an extendable tailstock there, like so. It just kind of slides in and out, and it can pop off of here. It's just a little piece of plastic with these two little prongs that hold it into place. But it's got two holes here on the top for you to peg in his scope. Let's see. It's kind of hard to see that there, but there they go. So you can do it like that. Like that, and then you can attach the little bipod right up in here like so. So now his gun's all complete and put together, so that's pretty cool. Oops, and the scope came off. Let's see here, it's not fitting in there right. Oh, the other thing I forgot to put on there was the little silencer or suppressor. Just has a little hole here and it just slides over the end of the barrel like so there it goes. Now it's all complete. So that's pretty cool. And that's his little weapon there. So that's cool. So as you can see, he does have a lot of accessories. Again, there are a lot of little pieces that can pop off or that are really small and easy to lose. So just, you know, be careful of that. And let's just kind of set everything to the side there. Now let's talk about him here as far as the articulation goes. Pretty much, you know, the standard G.I. Joe level of articulation. The head here can rotate around, although it is a little restricted by the little collar here on his vest. And you should be able to remove the vest. It just kind of pegs in here or clips together here. Although removing it's kind of a pain, so I just leave it on there. I don't tend to bother with it. But you can kind of rotate them here like that, bend at the torso a little bit. Again, it's kind of hampered though by this vest. The arms here rotate around to shoulders, 360, bend up and down like so. You can rotate at the elbows, bend at the elbows, rotate at the wrists. And the wrists are also jointed. This one can kind of pivot this way like that. And this wrist, I think, can go the opposite way. It goes up and down. It's got a little joint there. So that should aid you in making him, you know, hold his rifle or pose it in both hands. And then the hips here just go around like that, kind of ball jointed. Knees are double jointed. Feet and ankles rotate and bend. So yeah, pretty much, you know, the typical level of articulation for these Pursuit of Cobra figures slash, you know, modern day G.I. Joe figures. So let's just kind of stick him back on his little stand here. And I'm going to be lazy and not bother to attach all his other weapons back on him. But you can see him there. Let's just kind of show off all his accessories here in the front. He's got all that. He's got his backpack here. So he has a little submachine gun, walkie-talkie unit, and that there. So there he is there with all his accessories, all on display there. So yeah, all in all, would I say get this guy? I'd say yeah, definitely if you can find this guy. I know I've had trouble finding them in the stores, and I was only able to get this guy by going to a local comic book convention, and I picked him up there. So I don't know, keep checking. You might find them in the stores. I think all the scalpers are out, you know, snagging this guy up and throwing him up on eBay for inflated prices, which is, you know, nothing new. But just keep your eyes open. You should be able to probably find this guy. I'd say definitely get him. He's a really cool figure. I think he's one of the best of the Pursuit of Cobra figures to date. So yeah, definitely go out and get this guy. And with that, I think I'll wrap it up here with my look at the G.I. Joe Pursuit of Cobra lowlight figure.